What is up, y'all, and welcome back to the channel in this here 2021 Chevrolet Silverado. I'm gonna apologize for any wind noise. This camera hates it. So we're just getting done with second ride on the brand freaking new KX450, but I figured this would be a good time to do the at this point 3.5 year overview of my ownership on this 2021 Silverado. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Anyways, this is my 2021 Chevy Silverado Custom Trail Boss 5.3 V8 with the 6-speed 6L80, and I've had it for just about 3.5 years at this point. So we're gonna do an ownership review. I did a 2-year ownership review on it, so we'll call this one 3. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First things first on the truck, we're gonna start with the mods. I'm gonna get that list out of the way right now, so we can skip through that if you want to, but we're gonna start with the mods here real quick. In no particular order, moving front to back, we have LasFit, high beam, low beam, turn signals, fog lights. That wind is gonna be bad, I'll talk loud. We have a BDS 6-inch lift kit with Fox shocks all around. We have Nitto Ridge Grappler 35 1250s, Fuel Clash wheels, 5% tint all around, Amazon rain guards. These are new. We got the side steps. There's a car driving by. Anyway, we have the Boost Auto powered side steps. These things, I put them on yesterday. They are freaking sweet. So they are auto retracting. Super freaking awesome. Once again, we're just going over the mods quick. So when you open the door, those things pop out. Inside, we have the Weedasaurus seat covers. These things are actually holding up freaking great. Takancha brake controller, range DFM, AFM disabler, rough country speedometer, calibrator. We have the bullet point phone mount, so this thing's a magnet. I stick it on there, pretty sweet. GoPro mount, Escort Redline EX, and that's pretty much it for the interior. Under the hood up here, we have a K&N 63 series cold air intake with the Blackhawk dry air filter, rough country wheel well liners. We can see under there, Fox shocks, and in the back, we have a full Borla catback S-type system, bullet point, hitch, what else? All the mods on the truck. We have the rough country mat. We have a swing case. I think that's everything that's on the truck. Mods out of the way, that's everything I've done. So moving back around here, once again, bought this truck brand new. Had about, I think, 100 miles on it in March of 2021. It is now October of 24. So had this truck 3.5 years, put all these mods into it, tons of money. I think she looks freaking sweet. You guys seem to like it as well. Let's go over the stats on the truck. All right, so we're gonna dive in up here on the dash, if I can wrangle my hand through here. Transmission temp 151, brake pad life, front is disabled, rear is 79%. We'll get to that in a second. Wait, why do I have front disabled? Well, whatever. Air filter life is disabled because of the cold air intake. We have 48% oil life. We'll get to that in a second. Tire pressures are almost all 38. 281 miles of fuel range with almost a full tank. Trip 2 over the last 2,000 miles, 14.7 miles per gallon. And trip 1's never been reset, so 51,657.1 miles, averaging 15.3. Keep in mind, the speedometer was not calibrated for most of that, 0 mile an hour. So 1,630.2 hours on the motor. And as we just mentioned, 51,657 miles over the last 3.5 years. So moving on to the review, the truck is very dirty right now, but interior wise, I mean, this thing is holding up very well. It's a very simple interior on a base model truck, but the steering wheel looks just fine. It's not very clean, but all the buttons are showing, no signs of wear or anything weird like that. The door panel, sorry, car just drove by. Door panel looks good. It doesn't creak, it doesn't rattle. I rest my arm here most of the time when I'm driving and it's not worn out. So, I mean, interior is holding up just fine. As for electronics, radio, speakers, locks, mirrors, I mean, it's only 3.5 years old. Zero problems on the interior with this truck. The windshield has been replaced, but I live in Colorado and it gets hit with rocks in the winter all the time. Otherwise, I've had zero issues with, the electronics. you know, anything has been freaking perfect. The key does look nasty as hell, but it's in my pocket all the time. It's pretty much the most worn item on the truck, really. Oh, I forgot in the mods, pedal commander. We got one of those Johnnies as well. Boost Auto Parts, check out the steps, these things. I mean, the truck's got a 6-inch lift on it. It was a pain in the ass to get in and out of. So we're gonna jump in the back, retracting steps. Bunch of crap back here, tons of crap on my riding gear and stuff. But once again, just going through the interior. If I had this thing detailed, and I do every now and then, she looks absolutely brand freaking new. So interior is holding up beautifully. Exterior, this is a product of wide tires, but these are all rock chips. I do off-road this truck frequently. Let's find some other problem areas. The bumper has rock chips on it pretty badly. And once again, running down the sides. I mean, I off-road this truck. You can't really see it through the camera, but it's pinstriped pretty badly. Paint quality on the GM trucks has kind of gone downhill. All vehicles have because of the EPA. But I mean, it's all self-inflicted. The body is holding up just perfect. You know, I haven't run into anything that bad. You know, paint isn't what it used to be, but I take it off-road. I use it. It's a pickup truck, man. So she's a little scratched up over the last 3.5 years. Walking around here, yeah, I mean, if I get her cleaned up, you know, there's a couple dents. You know, I can see one here, rock chips, scratches, all that kind of crap. But for the most part, I mean, it's a pickup truck, man. She's all right. All right, so now for the big things, reliability on this truck. I'm trying to block the wind out here. God, I hate this camera. Reliability, motor, 0 issues. Transmission, mostly 0 issues. This truck has never broken down, never thrown a check engine light, never left me stranded, and really hasn't had any major problems. So the motor runs flawlessly. It sounds perfect. Transmission gets a little hot. It's a 6L80, sometimes has some questionable shifts, but for the most part, this truck has been bulletproof. I do trust this thing to take me way out in the wilderness, camping, haul my dirt bikes around, and has not left me stranded or with any issues yet, as I almost just fell down this hill. That would have been cool. So motor, 0 repairs, just oil changes, air filters, take care of her. Transmission, 0 repairs. I got the fluid done at 40,000 miles. I'm gonna stay on top of that, probably do it at 80. Front rear diff and transfer case just had done at 50,000 miles, so stay on top of that. But other than routine maintenance, air filters and fluids, this truck, drivetrain wise, has not had major repairs. Now, repairs, the suspension doesn't really count, but brand new lift kit on it, so all that stuff is brand new. Brand new tires, pretty much brand new exhaust, so it has new parts on it. Issues that I have had, I pad slapped the rear because the rear brake pads were real thin, so I just pad slapped it. I know, not recommended. Can't really be a product of a pad slap, but the passenger rear caliper ended up seizing shortly thereafter, which is interesting. I don't think I'm that bad a mechanic. I'm pretty savvy, but it was dragging the rear pads and making this atrocious noise when I was driving. So had to have the caliper replaced. I was about to throw pads and rotors at it, but luckily my neighbor owns a mechanic shop and he took a look at it, said it's a seized caliper and she's good to go. So replaced caliper on the rear, replaced rear brake pads. Fronts haven't been touched yet, but recently the fronts are starting to sound the same. So we're gonna take a look at it. I'll take a look at the calipers, but there's a chance, you know, I'm gonna do pads and rotors all the way around in the next 20,000 miles for sure. The sound is just annoying. It doesn't affect the performance that much. So rear now has machined rotors and sanded brake pads and a new caliper. On the other side, fronts are all factory. So that's pretty much the only issue, other than, I mean, the truck's been aligned I think 5 times because of lift kit changes, tire changes, and I ran into that boulder. So alignments, I do my own oil changes every 5,000 miles to the T, so you know, it's like 70 bucks for parts. If your shop is charging you $140 for an oil change on this thing, you are getting ripped off. Walking around here, yeah, man. As I make sure not to fall off this hill. So yes, routine maintenance, brakes, moderate brake issues, and alignments is really all the money I've put into this truck. Well, besides all the modifications, maintenance wise, it's fluids, filters, brakes, tires. That's pretty much it. So I am extremely satisfied. This truck has been bulletproof. Now, I know these Chevys are notorious for the lifters. I am hoping that by staying on top of my oil changes, full synthetic every 5,000 miles, and having the range technology AFM, DFM disabler, I'm hoping to avoid that. So we're almost to 100,000, well, halfway to 100,000. I really plan to keep this truck pretty much forever. I have so much freaking money into it and so many mods, and it's so personalized that I don't think I'll ever let her go. And I really think she looks nice. I think the custom looks better than that generation of the higher trim models, but that's personal preference. So interior, rock solid. Mods, I think, make the truck look freaking sweet. Reliability has been bar none so far at 51,000 miles. She sounds good, she looks good, and she's very capable off-road now. So last thing I'm gonna go over is usage. I daily drive this truck to work, so on the highway, especially with the Borla now, you know, it drives fine on the highway. I do off-road it often. Off-road performance, especially with the Lift Kit 35s and Fox shocks. Off-road performance, I mean, I've taken on pins and things in Utah, trails all around in this area, never got stuck. Literally does say Trail Boss on the side of it, so she's been upgraded fairly heavily. Off-road performance is freaking sweet, never got stuck. Adventure rig for sure. Only thing, transmission gets hot, so it's been a thing since day one. The transmission fluid that came out of it after it baked didn't look bad to the guy, so we'll probably throw a cooler on it eventually. But we have the bypass. Oh, that's another mod. We have the thermostat bypass on the 6L80, but maybe somewhere down the road, this wind is going to ruin my life. And finally, pickup truck. For pickup truck things that's not off-road. Motorcycles, I haul all my crap around in it. You know, I'll put 2 bikes in the back, 1 on the whale tail. It doesn't have any issues. I tow with it occasionally. With the Fox shocks, the new Fox shocks, it squats like a mother. So I can't tow real heavy. I think the heaviest trailer I've pulled was about 8,000 pounds, and it was up and over Eisenhower on I-70. So the truck wasn't particularly thrilled about it, but it did it. There was a couple points where I was floored. If you don't know, I-70 freaking sucks and it's steep. So there's a couple points. Giant wind gust. I'm trying to be able to be heard. It's steep, so there's a couple points. It goes from like, I think 5,500 feet in elevation up to 11,000. So you're going a couple points. I had it floored and I was maxed out at 45. You know, it was 9,000 pounds. So it's an off-road oriented truck. That would be kind of like trying to tow heavy with a Raptor, but she does it. Transmission stayed just fine. It was mostly being able to go fast, and I like going fast. I love them. They're brand new. So one more look on the inside here. We have 51,657, 1632 hours interior. She has been an absolute peach. 0 issues with the truck other than the caliper, but I mean, it was mostly the noise that was annoying me. It wasn't an absolute all-out failure. So my plan with the truck, I mean, she's really built out as far as I can go here. Lift kit, Fox shocks, wheels, tires. If anything, I'll downsize wheel size. I don't like the 20s, probably go down to 17s. But I plan to keep this truck for a long time. You know, do the regular maintenance. I have to stay on top of it. I take care of her, she takes care of me. But that's the 3.5 year overview on my 2021 Chevy Silverado. I love this truck. It's been absolutely perfect, and I hope she lasts another 10, 15, 20, 25 years. That would be freaking sweet. Anyways, that's that for the overview on the truck. If y'all have any questions about it, absolutely feel free to leave them below. I try my best to respond to every single comment. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch y'all in the next video. That's that.